but it's my God, my own interpretation of the supernatural. Attaining liberation, moksha, is what these natives' ultimate goal is. And as they grow, they realize that liberation is possible only through the spiritual path and not the religious path. They realize that God has no religion. They realize that religion and spirituality are two ends that can never meet. You either are religious or you either are spiritual. You cannot be both. Religion is belief in someone else's experience. Spirituality is having your own experience. Once it happened, a man came and asked Buddha, "Is there a God?" Buddha answered, "No, there is no God." Another man came after a while and asked Buddha, "What do you think of God? Is there any God?" Buddha answered, "Yes, there is God." Late evening, an old man came and said, "There are people who believe in God and people who don't. I myself need to know if God exists. Please help." Buddha did not speak. Instead, he gave the answer through his action. Buddha sat beneath the tree, closed his eyes, and went into deep meditation. The old man thought that this must be the answer. So he too sat down, closed his eyes, and started meditating. After a while, the old man opened his eyes, touched the feet of Buddha, and said, "Your compassion is great. You have given me the answer. I will always remain obliged to you." And then happily he left. Ananda was observing all of this, and Ananda asked Buddha, "To the first man you answered God doesn't exist. To the second man you answered God exists. And to the last man you said nothing but just went into meditation. I don't understand your answer. Please help me understand, O Master." And then Buddha smiled and said, "The first and the second man just wanted an answer. They were not seekers. The last man was a seeker. He wanted to experience God and not just to know God. He was able to relate. He was a seeker." Buddha therefore says to his disciples, "Never give your precious time to God believers because they just believe. They are not willing to jump and experience themselves. They just want some masiha on which they can rely without taking any effort on their part. And so never entertain God's believers. Instead, give your precious time to those who are seekers, who are willing to take effort, who are willing to jump, who are willing to take the risk, who are willing to ask, 'Show me how to experience God.'" Rahu in Uttara Bhadrapad brings great potential to make you a seeker and not just a believer. Buddha says, "Truth is not transferable. I cannot give you the truth. Nobody else can give it to you, but you can attain it on your own. You have to seek." Buddha wants seekers, and the seeker is a totally different thing. The believer is not a seeker. The believer wants to avoid everything. That's why he believes. The believer is always in search of a masiha, somebody who can chew for him. But if I eat, your hunger is not going to be satisfied. Nobody can save you except yourself. You have to be a seeker and not a believer. And that is the message to all natives having Rahu in Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra. That continue to seek, continue to show the courage in exploring the beyond, the unseen, continue to practice meditation. To seek the blessings of Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra, plant a mango tree or donate mangoes to the poor. Because the mango tree is a tree that comes under Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra. Mango is a symbolic representation of sweetness, royal life. The more you worship the mango tree, the more you will continue to excel in your career and your life will become richer from all angles, spiritual as well as material. I humbly prostrate before the nakshatra of wisdom, prosperity and maturity, Uttara Bhadrapada. May His blessings shower upon me and all my listeners and followers. Always remember, the more conscious you are of your karma, the more you are going to evolve as a person. And the more you evolve as a person, the more you are going to succeed in your life. It is all interconnected. It is all linked in. The key therefore is in raising your awareness. As awareness grows, love grows within you. You become more compassionate, more understanding, more forgiving. Always remember, if you will grow in awareness. If you grow in awareness,
When I lie moves up, when I stand up. Exactly.
the nature is to let go. A capable person will never react to a negative comment. He will simply block the person, and before he blocks the person, he will simply press two buttons, shift, delete, and the matter is over for him. For him, you are as good as dead. So a Ketu's person is not at all interested in reacting. He understands that by reacting, you fall into a vicious circle. But when it comes to Rahu, that he will fight. He will give it for that. And that is precisely the nature of Adar, the very first nakshatra of Rahu. If this Rahu or its moon in Adar nakshatra has a very good support of other planets in the horoscope, then the person will definitely do good in profession where you need to argue a lot, you need to debate a lot, you need to investigate a lot. So media is one good field for other nakshatra natives. Similarly, Adar is also highly intellectual and so the field of technology is also positive for other nakshatra. Interestingly, Adar falls in Gemini and exactly opposite in the sign of Sagittarius, you will find more. So the nature of Mula is just to cut. Remember, much has to be cut, only the essential has to be kept. That is the very basic nature of Ketu. Ketu dislikes all kind of noise. Ketu is perfectly aware that there are many negative people around this vast world. And they will try to hurt you. They will try to offend you. But you should never react. You should simply erase them by using whatever means that are available.